Welcome everyone to Fountain of Light Ministries. I've been reading the Bible and I believe that the key to the end of time is found within the major and minor prophets towards the end of the Old Testament. I'm going to let the Bible speak for itself, but just seeing here, I'm going to begin in Joel chapter 2 verses 1 through 3. Blow ye the trumpet of Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the likes, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. Joel chapter 2 verse 11 says, And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is strong and executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? Joel chapter 2 verse 31 says, The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord that comes. Isaiah 2:2-4 says, And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established to the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into spring hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. Micah chapter 4 verses 1-5. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into spring hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. But they shall sit every man under his vine, and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of the Lord of hosts hath spoken it. For all people will walk every one in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. Jeremiah 23 verse 20. The anger of the Lord shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. Lamentations chapter 1 verse 12. Is it nothing to you, all ye that pass by? Behold and see, if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me, wherewith the Lord hath afflicted me, in the day of his fierce anger. Lamentations 2 chapter 1. How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down the heavens unto the earth, the beauty of Israel, and remembereth not his footstool in the day of his anger. Ezekiel 21:29. while they see vanity unto thee, while they divine a lie unto thee, to bring thee upon the necks of them that are slain, of the wicked, whose day is come, when their iniquity shall have an end. Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Hosea chapter 9 verse 5. What will ye do in the solemn day, and the day of the feasts of the Lord? Amos chapter 5 verses 18 to 20. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord! To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness, and not light. If a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness, and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? Obadiah chapter 1 verses 15 to 17. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathens. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as for ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathens drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Nahum chapter 1 verses 2 to 9. God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea, and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burnt at his presence. Yea, the world, and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. But with an overrunning flood he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. What do ye imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. Habakkuk chapter 2 verses 2 to 4. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Zephaniah chapter 1, verses 14 to 18. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near, and hasteneth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. The day that is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wastedness, a day of desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and an alarm against the fenced cities, against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, and for he shall make an even a spread riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
Zephaniah 2, chapter 2.
Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord cometh upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger cometh upon you.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee.
Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear the name, my name, shall the Son of Righteousness arise, with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow as a calf of the stall. These verses are not all the connections that are within this book. Even just in the verses that I've read today, you can see the connections of darkness being repeated over and over again. About the idea that sin will not arise again, be repeated over and over again. Within these major and minor books, there are so many connections to Revelation, to Daniel, and to what we know about the end of time that it is completely mind-blowing. I encourage you today, from what I've shown you, to research for yourself. Take a look, because there's so much that we don't know about these books. And maybe look at these books in a new light, in the understanding of the end of time, that God has truly prepared us and will not leave us without the understanding that he has given in these books. I thank you for listening. Chapter 14, verse 1. Zechariah